This mutator is Perfect Storm, and it is a perfect storm indeed. We have 3 mutators active on Chain of Ascension. We have Blizzard, we have Twister, and we have Shortsighted. So, let's talk about Blizzard first. Because Blizzard is active on this map, it means the players do not have access to their expansions. As you can see over here, Blizzard actually overlaps the expansions here. So if you were to take your expansion, you are going to have a very bad time. We have Twister, which is kind of okay. A little bit annoying because Twisters do try and aggro the player units, but it's not too bad. Dehaka Deep Tunnel over there, no problem. And Shortsighted is going to give Dehaka some kind of problem because he does not have enough vision. He lures some of the Zerglings and begins to farm his essence over here. But I believe the more annoying one is Blizzard here. They're not really difficult mutators to deal with, they're just really annoying. We have 2 Aberrations and 3 Roaches and an Ultralisk that has aggroed Dehaka over here. Make that 4 Roaches, one has gotten eaten right now. But there is an Ultralisk as well there, which is going to give Dehaka a problem. He does devour the Aberration, I think he has, but he's gonna go down here because his Devourer is still on cooldown, which is somewhat unfortunate there. I'm not sure if that was an error or if that was intentional. I think that was an error, just devouring the Aberration. I think he wanted to devour that Roach instead. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult for him to be able to not only kite the units, but dodge the Blizzards as well. It does get kind of annoying. He does not appear to want to revive Dehaka any faster. It is such a painful thing to lose Dehaka in the early stages of the game because you have to devour your drones, which means you're setting your economy back significantly. Over here, Stukov is building. He's going for a bunker build, and I still think he's going to be struggling with the bunkers because Blizzard is a really spammy mutator. As you can see over here, there's not really much there's not really a lot of space to maneuver around the Blizzards. And I think what might happen here is Stukov might be struggling to get his infested units into the deeper parts of the map. But we'll see how this plays out. Dehaka is out now and he is ready for round 2.
Allies are in combat.
I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to approach this. So, okay, yeah. So Dehaka wants to jump in here. Dehaka wants to jump in here. And there we go. He finally jumps in there and kills off a lot of the Zerglings. I think he's going to go down. Dehaka goes down again. Excellent. And the Apocalypse has taken out this side. But now this is going to be harassing Dehaka's base there. Okay, so now he has actually used his Devour ability. Or he has eaten some of his drones to reduce his timer a little bit. He should have just sent the extra drone over there just to get Dehaka out. Dehaka picks up the last bit of essence, and we'll see where this. I think this Apocalypse wants to try and go and clear this, but gets slowed down by the Blizzard, which is again causing a lot of problems for the commanders. So I don't think this Apocalypse is going to be able to clear any structure before it explodes into tiny little bits like that. Now we have the second wave that has moved in on this side, or this is actually a harass wave, but it does get aggroed by Stukov's bunkers, and Stukov's bunkers are really good at dealing with these Zerglings. So these Zerglings will all go down, and for some reason the Zerglings de-aggroed. Dehaka dies again at some point to some spine crawlers, I believe. But for some reason those Zerglings de-aggroed the bunker that was about to die and went for the other bunker, so it kind of split up the damage among Stukov's bunkers. Which was relatively fortunate for him, because I think he would have lost a bunker otherwise. Dehaka is going to move forward over here and try and move Janara forward a little bit. But yeah, because Blizzard is covering the player expansions, this will be a one-base game, so you need commanders that can handle themselves on one base. Dehaka is a really good one for that because the hero unit is really strong, and Stukov is also really good if he has enough time to ramp up because his units are free. All he has to do is just put down bunkers and he'll be fine. And again, a roar in there and he's dead. So Dehaka has died a total of 4 times so far. Stukov right now is just fortifying this position. This is the second attack wave of this mission, and this attack wave is really, really scary. So Stukov is not going to have any problems dealing with these links that are coming up on the site. The difficult part is this attack wave, which is a 4-4 attack wave or 5-5 attack wave. And this one is going to cause a lot of problems for Stukov. As you can see here, it's actually like, it's a pretty scary attack wave. Most of the ground units do get killed by the volatile infested, but the bunker gets... Is there a bunker over there? Or no, the bunker was repositioned. Here are the bunkers over here. That bunker gets focus fired down by the Mutalisk, so one bunker goes down. I think this one will also go down. And I think even the third one might potentially go down. Unless Stukov is able to do something. Okay, yeah, he drops his Apocalypse down. I believe it was just off cooldown there. And he's able to deal with some of the ground units, but these areas decided, you know what, I don't really care about the Apocalypse anymore. I'm just gonna go towards the towards Stukov's base and harass these overlords, and that is going to cause a lot of problems for Stukov because he does not want to. Actually, he can afford to lose it. He has a lot of extra supply there because he lost some of the bunkers, unfortunately, but he will be struggling here. We do have a bunch of missile turrets that are being made over here, but now the hybrid has spawned. The hybrid super pusher wave has spawned, and this Apocalypse is coming up over here, but it is not going to make it in time to deal any damage to these hybrid waves. So these players will need to have to do something because Janara is almost going to fall into the pit of sacrifice over here. Morvar comes down here to deal with the hybrids, which is okay, I guess. Personally, Glevic would have been a better choice here. Glevic could have been dropped to deal with the attack wave as well as clear this side out. And now he drops the Glevic down as well. So I think that is a somewhat wasted Morvar. But missile turrets get repositioned on this side, take out these Corruptors. Overall, Stukov has, I think, compensated for the loss of Overlords there. But that second attack wave was kind of brutal. 3 bunkers get lost for Stukov, which is... not very nice, especially when you're one-basing, so we'll see what happens now. But Stukov is repositioning some of the other bunkers over here. Did you get pushed back by the Twister? As you can see over here, Twister is really annoying. He just tries to push units back as much as it can. And that cancelled. Okay, there we go. That bunker is like, you know what? I keep getting pushed back. I'm just going to sit down over here. This bunker is getting completely harassed by that one Twister. Actually, he might make it now. Nope. Okay, there we go. He finally makes it. Little bunker that could. But once Stukov is able to fortify his position in the game, then he'll have no problems because his trickle spawn gets stronger and stronger as time commences. But as you can see, these attack waves can get pretty nasty, and Blizzard can cause a lot of problems as well. Now the good thing is, this area is also not being covered by Blizzard, so the second hybrid spawn is also going to be okay. I do not know what Dehaka is doing over here. He's taking his anger out on that evolution chamber there. I'm still not sure why, but there you go. So Stukov is like starting to push into this side. He wants to clear this area out in advance. His infested are not actually in position. There we go. Okay, but he has cleared most of this area. There is a spine crawler that is poking away at the infested on this side. He just needs to reposition his psi emitter a little bit. But Haka decides to keep tunnel over, and okay, spawns up near Janara. So yeah, I think they can push Janara forward a little bit. There are still some static defenses on this side, so as you can see how Stukov is moving his bunkers forward a little bit. This is really good play because this makes sure that your infested spend more time in combat than they are walking across the map. And for mutators like Blizzard, where you know you are going to be losing a lot of infested, well, to be more, the Huck goes down again. But on the mutator like Blizzard, where the longer the distance the infested travel, the more blizzards they have to walk through. Moving your bunkers forward will increase the pushing power of your infested. But these bunkers do get aggroed by the Mutalisk. Is it going to survive there? I think it might. Okay, so Stukov has a regenerative plating upgrade here for his bunkers, which is giving him a lot of advantage. Dehaka decides to slap the infestor rather than eat it, which is again somewhat unfortunate because Dehaka would have been able to wipe out the entire air attack wave there without any problems. But he just slapped the infestor dead instead. And now Dehaka is going to be... Oh, he eats that just in time.
Evolution completed.
Okay, so we have now 6 bunkers here for Stukov. How many total? How many structures do we have in total? This might be under the structure count here. Yeah, we have 8 bunkers for Stukov, which is relatively decent for him. And they will start pushing Jannar forward a little bit. I think this area has been cleared out by Stukov in that time, while Dehaka was having fun with that infestor. But yeah, the next hybrid spawn has happened. And we have a bunch of infests that are going to make their way there. Obviously not going to be enough. We're going to need Dehaka's support on this side.
Evolution complete.
Dehaka roars, eats the hybrid dominator. I would have gone for the infestor first personally. You just clear out that and weaken the dominator first, and then eat the dominator just after that. But that hybrid spawn has been cleared. I think there was another harass wave that has spawned on this side, and I don't know if Stukov ended up losing a bunker. I think he lost 1 bunker in that process. I'm not sure. But as you can see now, as Stukov is starting to stabilize, he will have no problems in dealing with the attack waves and stuff. The one issue that is happening though is because this is a mutaling composition, there are banelings in some of the attack waves. And what can sometimes happen is the banelings will just charge into the bunkers and end up killing the bunkers. Usually what Stukov will want to do here is just put in maybe 1 or 2 siege tanks just to be able to clear the baneling component of the attack waves, because the zerglings can be dealt with, especially when you have more bunkers over here. Dehaka is on this side and was slapping down the spine crawler, and is getting focused down by the Ultralisk, which he eats. Takes out the rest of the attack wave. Bakalisk is also down now to just clear this side, and then I think they'll be ready to push into the next phase of the mission.
Evolution complete.
Okay, so Dehaka has gone down actually one more time. I don't know how he managed to get killed, but he did manage to get smoked there. That infested colonist compound should be moved forward as well with the bunker line. I don't think there's any reason to have the infested colonist compound sitting all the way back. You can see there's a missile turret that's also coming up that'll help Stukov with some detection. Next attack wave has spawned over here. Dehaka is back now with a vengeance. You could use slapping some more spore crawlers and spine crawlers. This attack wave is making its way towards Stukov's base, which okay, so he has his bunker line set up, and he has a bunch of missile turrets as well, so that'll be helpful for him. And his psi emitter is targeted towards this hybrid spawn location there, but luckily gets aggroed there. Infestor lands a fungal growth on his infested units, which ends up killing a whole lot of them, and so now there's just a whole bunch of broodlings that have spawned as a result of them. But there are enough bunkers over here to be able to deal with the air attack wave here. And Dehaka has died one more time. I'm actually not sure how Dehaka is dying. I think what's happening is he's getting caught in the blizzard, and then he just gets wrecked by the spine crawlers that are there. Okay, that Corruptor has gone down again. And Godzilla now is wondering how to get past this side, because he can't actually jump over, so he seems to be kind of stuck on the... Okay, there we go. So Stukov is moving the rest of his bunkers forward, which is really good. Moving that front line, his bunkers can tank the damage from blizzards, which is really good, especially because he has the regenerative blading upgrade. So it does mean that he has a little bit less resiliency when it comes to dealing with the attack waves, but being able to move that bunker line forward means your infested take less damage from blizzard, which is always a good idea. That bunker, unfortunately, is not rooted over there. Dehaka is following the blizzard. I'm not sure why. He eats a Mutalisk. What's also unfortunate is that Dehaka is not actually making any units over here. He is getting upgrades. I have no idea what he's doing. This should be a rock-stopping champions episode, to be honest. So he's gotten his Ravazor upgrades. He's gotten his Impaler upgrades. He's gotten his brutal charges. Tyrannosaurs? Ultralisks? He's gotten Tyrannosaur upgrades? He's gotten all his upgrades, but he doesn't have any units. Yeah, this should be a Rock Stopping Champions episode, to be honest. But we were casting this for a mutation instead. I'm very, very confused over there. Okay, he finally eats the Viper. He finally eats the Psionic and ends up wiping this thing out. Few units over there again, but this enemy base is well defended. Okay, he just gets wrecked over there. I think that he gets wrecked here by the lurkers that are burrowed over there. Because he doesn't have vision of it, I don't think he could see the damage that was being dealt to him. I think the Corruptor might have also cast its corruption debuff on it. I was not really paying attention there. But Stukov is essentially starting to pull forward. Dehaka is again back with a vengeance, and he wants his revenge against the invisible units that have killed. Yeah, so there's the Lurker over there, and he gets the corruption debuff. Eats the Viper, really good there. But again, the corruption debuff combined with the Lurkers just instantly wrecks Dehaka. And Dehaka has died a total of 9 times this mission. This should be a Rock Slapping Champions episode. But there we go. Hey, you guys get a 2-for-1 now. If you watch the mutation videos, you're in for a treat in this one. This is a bonus Rock Slapping Champions episode.
Our allies are in combat.
So we have a bunch of Mutalisks over here that are harassing these Broodlings, but as soon as the Mutalisks go into the into Suka's base, they will get taken out. Dehaka again is stuck behind these infested eggs, so he's not moving anywhere until this area is gone. Doctrine and Glevik come down with Murvar. The trifecta from hell are here, and they have been sent to deal with with this hybrid superficial wave. And we have the Apocalypse down as well over here. Dehaka decides, you know what, I'm going to take a detour and go around my base instead, because I can't get past those eggs that are blocking the exit ramp, well, his base. So he is going to make his way over here, and he gets caught by a blizzard again, and then decides to walk in the same direction as the blizzard, while Stukov is clearing out the rest of this area. So his 3 pack leaders are parked over here and doing nothing, while Dehaka is walking in the same path as a blizzard. Dehaka is now in Godzilla mode, as you can see by the sound effect, and Jinara was pushed back a significant amount, but Dehaka is going to move forward here and push Jinara forward. You can see here Dehaka is floating 10,000 minerals and 1,400 gas. He should be putting those towards some Mutalisks at least, instead of buying upgrades that he is never going to use, because I still think he is, yeah, he's going for a solo Dehaka build here. So should have gone for some Mutalisks here, just, fill up some of this. And again, we have a bunch of Lurkers. This time Dehaka is well aware. There is a corruption debuff that goes down on Dehaka, but I think he's now aware that, these Lurkers are dealing a lot of damage, so he's going to try and focus fire them down. Eats that Lurker. There's a Spore Crawler that deals a little bit of damage to him, but now he has cleaned up this side. That corruption debuff is really nasty when you're playing Dehaka, because they will cast that on you, and then you start taking so much more damage that if you're not really paying attention to Lurkers, you will end up dead. But you can see over here, Stukov has put down some of these siege tanks to deal with the enemy composition. Really good play here for Stukov. And now all he needs to do is move his bunker line a little bit forward and move Jinara a little bit. But Dehaka is on this side. The Alexander has also come down. Does get caught by a blizzard, but Alexander doesn't really care very much. He is just going to move over here, gets pushed back by a Twister, which is always very, very amusing to watch. But Dehaka is at a point now where he has enough HP, and combined with the backup of Stukov, because Stukov has a lot of infested units that are drawing aggro away from Dehaka, Dehaka should be okay. So Jinara is just waiting to be pushed forward. Now, one last Lurker over there. Dehaka slaps the Lurker. Lurker topples over and dies. You can see over here what Stukov is doing. He's making his bunkers and he's moving them forward. So very important play here for this. Unfortunately, the bunkers have been hidden from the rest of this play. But you can see that Stukov now has enough bunkers that his just the trickle spawn from the bunkers is enough to deal with the attack waves and push into the enemy bases. So these are the Banelings I was talking about earlier, and you can see here one siege tank just instantly wipes out a lot of the Banelings, keeps these bunkers alive. Stukov would have lost those bunkers if he did not have these siege tanks in position. So that is why you should have some siege tanks against Zerg compositions, especially when you're up against the the Swarmy and the Mutiling compositions. There's a little bit of a harass wave on this side. Again, Bunker goes fires a bunch of infested at this attack wave, and this attack wave ends up dying. There are 2 attack waves coming up towards the player bases here. Infested gets a fungal growth on this side. And this side has, there are a few bunkers over there. Dehaka deep tunnels over. Eats the Infestor, instantly one-shots the attack wave. Nice play on Dehaka's side here. And we have a bunch of Corruptors that are spazzing out and not knowing where to go. There is a Broodlord over there, which has a little bit of extra range. These Broodlords will probably aggro the Broodlings that are being spawned. These Infested Marines are enough to take out these Broodlords though, so that's okay. And Dehaka is stuck again on this side, not knowing where to go. Oh, is he going to move around? Okay, there we go. Dehaka has evolved. He's figured out how to go around these structures over there. You can see how this bunker, like, it's taking so much damage and just surviving. And that's because of these siege tanks over there that are wiping out the banelings. That bunker would have gone down way earlier if those siege tanks were not there. But Dehaka is going to start pushing Janara forward. And unfortunately, the infested units that were around there end up getting killed by the blizzards, so there's nothing to push Janara. But there we go. This is the last hybrid spawn wave here, and Dehaka chooses to slap the spawning pool instead. He's gonna get... Okay, so now Dehaka's inside this blizzard, which means he's slowed down, and he's going to have a little bit of problem. Eats the infestor, very nice there. So he does end up wiping a lot of the units over there on this side. He ends up eating the full HP Broodlord. The Basilisk comes down with Glevig, Morvar, and Dakran. So we have 4 call downs so far. And I think the Alexander is off cooldown. It's still on cooldown, so Alexander won't be coming down anytime soon. But the Dehaka gotta get stuck behind his back leaders because they're all very fat. And is not able to get to those hybrids which he wants to DPS. But I think we have 3 hybrids left, 2 hybrids left, 1 hybrid left, and that Dominator is going to have a very bad day. He gets a little bit too close to Dehaka and gets eaten by Dehaka. So these hybrids are now gone, and the Apocalypse Borrow Charge is over, instantly one-shots a lot of the ground units in the attack wave, and those 2 Broodlords also go down. And we have 2 Tyrannosaurs here that decide to join the fight at the very end of the game. So, oh no, we have to have 5 Tyrannosaurs, I think 2 of which are here, and 3 are kind of stuck on this side. So there is a ping from Stukov, like push Snar forward, and he needs a unit on that side. So Dehaka is going to make his way back and push Snar forward, which is okay. Dehaka deep tunnels over, and this should essentially be the end of the mission, but I think there might be another harass wave that will spawn before Janara gets to the point where the mission is over. These Tyrannosaurs are getting harassed by these Twisters. We have the Alexander that comes down now just to accompany Janara. There we go. Okay, yeah, so that was that attack wave that I was talking about there. So this is just going to delay the mission just a little bit, but we have a few Tyrannosaurs, Dehaka and the Alexander. Not really going to be much of a problem to deal with it. But there we go, that is the end of the mission, and that is GG.